Time now for Morning Rounds, our look at the medical news of the week. According to the American Cancer Society, lung cancer accounts for about 14% of all new cancer cases. A new study out this week, published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, examined how certain types of vitamins might raise your risk.
A major finding was that men who have smoked cigarettes and taken B6 and B12 supplements for 10 years or more have a 30 to 40% higher risk of lung cancer. Those taking the highest doses of the vitamins had about double the risk. For current smokers, the risk was even higher. No effect was seen among women. Here with more is CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Jon LaPook and CBS News contributor Dr. Narula. Tara, give us some of the main findings of this study for both the smokers and non-smokers.
I think it's really important that we're talking about this because if you see the headline, vitamins causes cancer, it can be very misleading. This was a specific population of individuals, essentially either former, current, or recent smokers. It was an observational study, which means it doesn't prove cause and effect. And it essentially looked at the use of B6, B12, B9, and multivitamins over a long period of time in this population. And they did indeed find an association. The association was strongest in current smokers who took very high doses of B6 and B12 over a 10-year period. In that group, there was a 3 to 4 times increased risk of the development of lung cancer. Now, they did not see this in women. They did not see it in the multivitamins. They did not see it in folate. The thinking is that it's possible that because these B vitamins are involved in DNA cell growth, repair, and maintenance, that somehow by tinkering with the amounts in a population of smokers with male hormones over a long period of time at these higher doses, you might either stimulate the development of new cancers or accelerate the development of cancers that are already there.
John, did the authors give any idea why the vitamins might have this kind of impact in men versus women?
There's some speculation, all right? There are differences in the way enzymes work between men and women, and these are important functions in the way that DNA is synthesized and repaired. There are hormonal differences, as Tara alluded to, and then also there may be differences between men and women in the very susceptibility to lung cancer in the first place.
Tara, it's no surprise a group representing the supplement industry says that these findings conflict with previous research. Quote, the numerous benefits of B vitamins from food and dietary supplements, including supporting cognition, heart health, and energy levels, are well established. So what do we know about the health benefits of vitamin B?
So what we know is that for most individuals in this country, there really is no good data to support the use of supplements unless you are deficient. Now, there are some populations that are deficient in B vitamins, people who may have celiac, Crohn's disease, or other disorders. They're strict vegetarians. In that population, there may be benefit. But in general, the bulk of the research does not show any preventive benefits in terms of, for instance, cancer. And so there may be this signal of harm. We don't know. But certainly when you're looking at the doses we're talking about, the recommended daily allowance, for example, that you get in a regular multivitamin is about 1.3 to 1.5 milligrams of B6, about 2.4 micrograms of B12. In this study, we were talking about greater than 20 milligrams of B6, greater than 55 micrograms of B12. That's about 10 to 20 times the amount you're going to get in a regular multivitamin. So again, very large doses.
Good to note. Our next topic deals with the potential link between sleep and dementia. A new study in the journal Neurology looked at how the two may relate.
The research looked at 321 participants who were over the age of 60 at the start. They were followed for an average of 12 years. There were 32 dementia cases observed, with 24 due to Alzheimer's disease. John, what did the study show exactly in this relationship between sleep and dementia?
Well, we know with sleep there are the different parts of the cycle, and it starts with kind of a light sleep, it goes to heavy sleep, and then you get REM, rapid eye movement, that's when we dream. And they found that as the amount of REM went down, the risk of dementia went up.
That's scary news for a lot of people. I think we've all heard of REM, but we don't necessarily know what happens in the different sleep cycles. Why is that one so important?
Yeah, so for a long time, the thinking was that sleep is this very passive, inactive state where your body's essentially shutting down. And then with the development of the EEG in the 1930s, we realized that actually, during periods of time, particularly during REM, your brain can actually be more awake than like when you're awake. And so when they looked at the brain waves, they saw that during REM sleep, you essentially have kind of small, fast brain waves, as opposed to non-REM sleep, where you have large, kind of slow brain waves. REM sleep is characterized by vivid dreams, as John mentioned. Your muscles remain paralyzed, your breathing increases, your heart rate increases, your blood pressure increases, as opposed to non-REM sleep, which again is much more kind of quiet. You cycle through through these stages throughout the night. About 20 to 25% of your night is spent during REM. And we don't know why you cycle, but one theory is that it may help with memory consolidation, which could play into some of the issues with dementia.
Jon, is this study saying that there is a definitive link between sleep quality and dementia?
We don't know that yet, and we don't know if it's cause and effect, even if there is a link. And one interesting theory is that there's kind of a garbage collecting function during sleep, that you have these toxins that accumulate, and then at night it sort of gets cleaned out. But people shouldn't freak out. I know there's been a lot of discussion about that. We're all kind of sleep deprived.
None of us get enough sleep.
Even if it is a cause and effect, it would only be one factor. There are a lot of other factors, including just living a healthy lifestyle. So, but it is an interesting and compelling beginning of research.
Finally, inspired by a heavenly sight, people came together here on Earth. Earlier this week, Americans coast to coast got to see at least some of the great American eclipse. A thrill for folks of all ages and something that hasn't happened nationwide for almost 100 years.
Dr. LaPook got the chance to experience the eclipse at totality on a visit to Oregon with his family. Jon, how does this event impact empathy? And I guess could more events have a similar effect?
Well, I think what was not captured by all of the pictures was the spirituality of the event. And my son Noah called it collective wonder. I mean, we know we live in a world that's very troubled, and there are a lot of differences among us, but we also live in a world that's miraculous. Yeah. And for this one moment, we were all looking up at the sky at this spectacular event, not a difference among us, and maybe one moment could become two moments, and maybe collective wonder could become a more important force in the universe, and that's what I learned from my son Noah during the eclipse.
Collective wonder, that's a great phrase.
You guys both had totality. We didn't here in New York, but it was the same thing, seeing everybody on the rooftops, looking up. It really was an amazing moment. Doctors Jon LaPook and Narula, thank you very much. It played a crucial role in World War II, but was destined not to survive it. Up next, we'll visit the just-discovered wreck of the USS Indianapolis and hear from those who survived its sinking, an ordeal that even inspired a character in the movie Jaws. You're watching CBS This Morning, Saturday.
Hey,